Princess Iman Loren like Polo, the coldest living chica, the rep the go flow, that goals got brains, to match the quote, the mother of the Hoodwives, off this no fold, just talking love to my niggas, stay up like fold, just bless the hands in the mouths like God is grown, when see the time is close, open ways like dormant, forget the doubt, love the women in here, cause they gave us clout, freedom over power, so tell me what your thought juice is, cause I bring the bottles and the truth is I'ma lay it out for all the fools here. I make it clear, 100 proof pit. Ayy, Princess E money, time to cash out. Fuck commando for the shortest, hard clips out. Do a little dance, shake a little ass. I'm just trying to ask, what's your thought juice? Dun dun dun.
Oh, what is up, everybody? It's your girl / boy, Iman Loren like Polo, Black Honey Buns, bitch, ew. And we are here for another episode of The Real Hoodwives of Chicago, a real show with hot sauce stories. Oh, I'm fucking tweaking. I'm supposed to be going live on Instagram, but that don't fucking matter because we're going to do it anyway. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Real Hoodwives Chicago. Thank you so much to my team, Chicago For Real. Make sure that you follow us, like us, comment, subscribe, and everything. We have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing guest, the wonderful, illustrious, tender, cinematic, delicate Elton Aura. Yes. Can we please make some noise for Elton Aura here to grace us? How you doing, honey?
I feel great. How you doing?
I'm good. How was it? How was the drive over here?
It was about an hour. From the burbs, from the Aurora, Fox Valley area. Oh,
you say in Aurora?
Yeah, well, that's where my parents live. I'm just there visiting them.
Are you originally from Chicago?
I was born in Chicago. Then we moved to Hillside, Illinois. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. Kind of by like Maywood, Bellwood.
Okay, Maywood. That's like westish.
West of Chicago, pretty much, outside.
Okay.
And we went to Aurora from there.
Okay. How you been? What you been on?
I've been good. I mean, I've been in Chicago for like the summer, pretty much.
Yes. So you,
LA.
Right? You stay in LA, right?
Yeah.
I've never been to LA.
It's cool. It's warm. The consistency of the weather is like one of the best parts. But a lot of times, like right now, it's like Chicago in LA. I like pretty much only hang out with Chicago people in LA too. So
that's hot.
Yeah.
So why don't you introduce yourself? Give us your name, your pronouns, who you are, what you do, all of that jazz.
Okay, I'm Elton the Aura.
Elton the Aura.
No, I'm just saying that.
No. I like that for you.
Yeah, Elton the Aura. He, him. Originally from Midwest Illinois. Fox Valley / Chicago. I rep it all. Live in LA. I do music. I'm an artist. I've been venturing into other avenues as well.
Yes.
I just love beauty. Anything beautiful.
Yeah. That's hot. That's hot. That's really hot. I wanted to ask you, what does Elton Aura mean? How did your name Elton Aura become inspired? Is it inspired by like auras, chakras, vibes?
Definitely auras, or just wanting to be somebody who exudes something positive or something real as a whole. I'm a Libra, so I got these tats on my arms right now. Plus minus, just to be the balance, the filament in between, like a light bulb. I was thinking like a light bulb, the aura. So it's like I'm the middle in between, having to stay balanced and stable.
Libra.
I am. Could you tell or you couldn't tell?
I couldn't tell.
People can't tell that.
I was trying to figure it out. I'm not going to lie. I was trying to figure it out. But that makes sense, though. I can dig that. Yeah. I love Libras.
We so chill and mellow, right?
For the most part. I was talking about for me.
Oh.
But I'm Scorpio. Does it?
Oh, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, you fiery. You spicy.
But maybe that's my Aries rising. I got a lot of water in me. But Libras, they keep me sane. They keep me here. They keep me a little bit grounded. Yeah, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, we airy too. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
We float amongst the people. We go with the wind. Yes.
So I want to get into this interview. I have so many questions that I wanted to ask you. Thank you so much for being here, for making time. Because we've been putting this off for some weeks. The community kind of been hitting us with some things.
Yes.
But we was with each other for the past few weeks. working together. Elton made me his video vixen, y'all. That's so fucking hot. And we're gonna get to that a little bit later. But before I forget, this is a segment called "What's Your Thought Juice?" Yeah, come on, sing with me.
What's your thought juice? She got the whole theme song. I had no idea. That caught me so off guard. I'm impressed.
Elton, I'll be making music. I want to make music with you.
Let's do it.
Come on.
I just recently been picking up some new things. I don't know if you wanna.
You've been singing Lover Boy stuff. I've been seeing you with your little sunshine emojis. You've been fucking sending it up. Like you've been you.
I feel like I gotta just embrace that and just go for it all the way. No,
that's how I really feel. Like I wanna get to that. But what's your thought, Juice, baby?
Today we're gonna do the tequila and the grapefruit.
Tequila. You know. Welcome Instagram. Welcome to our live. It's the Real Hawaii Chicago with Elton Aura and Princess E-Money. So we have Patron.
Yes.
You actually wanted mezcal.
I like mezcal.
Because it's smoky.
Yeah, I like the smoky. Okay,
well I got you expensive shit.
No, I appreciate
because you deserve the best, Daddy.
I need something that's gonna take me up.
Absolutely. And grapefruit. I've never had tequila and grapefruit.
How you like it?
I haven't sipped it yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we can
take
cheers.
You a little sip.
We can cheers.
Yes,
cheers. All right, but let me see. Oh, smoother than the thing.
You don't even taste it.
Awesome. So I want to know what, like, you're a phenomenal artist, and I'm not just gonna like, because we've met years ago. Mm-hmm. I feel like the last time I saw you was when we was on a yacht.
Oh, brown skin ladies.
Yes.
That was a legendary night.
It was.
Shout out to whoever curated that.
Shout out to Jay Bambi. Make sure that y'all listen to Jay Bambi's episode. All of that is available on all of our platforms. But that was the last time like I saw you like before our work. But I know you for being like a rapper, a musician, but I feel like that's too singling, right? Like that's too minuscule. How would you describe like your artistry, like all of your little pods?
Well, I never just wanted to be one thing.
Right.
Like one of my biggest inspirations is like Donald Glover.
Facts. I love that.
Him and Jamie Foxx are like the top
really
in my life. Oh yeah, for sure.
Can you tell me what Jamie?
Jamie's amazing. I don't know if y'all ever seen like him playing the piano, like cracking jokes. Like that shit is the funniest shit ever. But it just shows you his range, you know. And I've always like appreciated people with range.
There's actually a funny story with Jamie Foxx when he was on Apollo. How he tried to do comedy, but he kept getting booed.
Oh, okay.
So every time that he would sing, like the audience would love him.
Right.
But whenever he went back to the comedy, they just kept booing his ass off the stage.
That makes sense. But he got funny. I mean, he was always funny to me. Like, I've been a fan for a long time. Like, into the Foxhole, like some of his early work, like I've been watching since a kid.
Yeah, and you've been dabbling into a lot of new shit, a lot of other shit lately, right?
Yeah. So pretty much like the pandemic has gotten me into playing guitar. So I've been picking.
Like this is a new thing for you?
That's a new thing. I just started.
Really?
Like, I've just picked it up during quarantine.
I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you. No, I have a great teacher, Brian Sanborn.
Okay.
Go to him for lessons.
Hit Brian up.
Hit Brian Sanborn. Outside of that, what quarantine also brought me was time to start looking up, different directors and seeing, like I said, Childish Gambino and like Donald Glover as a whole has been an inspiration to me. So just looking up, how he writes and how people direct, and I don't know, I just had an eye for that. So I want to get into it more. So spending time with directors on music videos, co-directing my own music videos, just starting to see how it all works. So eventually I can like do it for other artists.
Yeah.
Myself.
I'm into music.
Oh man.
Is that a loaded question?
Kind of. Well, when I was 7. No, seriously. When I was 7, I saw the movie Temptations. I was in my grandfather's house.
Oh my God.
And that shit took me to the moon. Like, I was
you give me big Leon vibes. Not in the best way.
No, I get that.
Leon is so fine.
I grew up, my parents always like, you like David Ruffin? You like David Ruffin? Always. But from there, I always loved entertaining. I would entertain my family and friends all the time. And then when I was in high school, I started a group with my homie Nehemiah. We was on some like R&B. You know, that's when Pleasant P was hot. We thought we was Pretty Ricky. So we was on that. But yeah, so pretty much in high school, I like really started like writing more and like making songs and, you know, doing that thing.
Yeah. A little bit about you and like your journey with guitaring, with singing, et cetera. How has that been like stepping, like what has that like confidence been like stepping into that, right? Because I feel like it's a shift that happens. Like I'm even feeling that now, like as a poet, right? Transitioning into music, where it's like there's a box that's like that you're comfortable being successful in. So like what are some like affirmations that you give yourself, or like what are some like new ways of thinking that you've given yourself to step in that confidence of like, yo, of course I got bars for these niggas, but I also have a voice. I also got like, you know, I got the strumming on hand. Like what has that confidence been like for you, or stepping into that?
I think I just go back to what it felt like to be a kid doing things, to be a child learning something new. And it being like a toy, even. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking of it as like I'm working. And with like music in a certain realm at a certain time in my life, it was like work, this is work, you know. Another inspiration to me. So I was that Mamba mentality, like always been in that mindset. But when I started looking at it as like something being fun, like truly being fun to me, it allows me to be able to do it. So I could sit in the room and like play guitar for hours in the mindset of being like 8, 9 years old, you know, and just feeling like I can learn and just continuing to learn with that mindset.
I like how you said like you do it for fun. I was talking to someone about how I want to make music. And of course, everybody saying, oh yeah, when you make music, you're supposed to, you know, make music for the fun of it, right?
Right.
But I feel like as artists, as professional artists, right, as freelance professional artists, we tend to like, I'm not gonna speak for everybody else, but like I tend to lose sight of like, oh, for the fun of it, because it's wrapped up in like the business aspect, right? So it's like, yeah, I want to release music for the fun of it, but I know everything that I'm gonna do is gonna be successful. I know what I'm gonna do is gonna be lucrative. It's gonna make money, right? So how do you stay in like that fun mentality, but also like understand like, yeah, there is a business side to it?
Well, the business side is like, it's newer for me, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I'm saying newer in the sense of it came years after I was already doing the music for a long time. Okay, so I had to learn that, you know, with having people like who played the role of manager and all of that. Like, they would be thinking on that level, and I could just, you know, do the art. But in this time in my life, in my career, like I have to take on both sides, and I have to like understand both sides. And I think any artist has to do that. Yeah. You know, I was watching like this interview with Pharrell, and he was talking about like it is the music business. You know, and it's like that with any creative endeavor. You have to know the business side, because if you don't, you could get taken advantage of on that side. Yes. You know, so it's easier to just be the creative and like right down and just having fun with it, but I think we have to know the balance of it.
Yeah.
Know?
What is like some like go-to like top of the head tricks, like tips that you can give for the business side of music that like you've learned throughout your journey?
I would say ask questions. Okay. Be thorough with your questions before you say yes. Okay. To doing something. Okay. I like that. Because when it comes to money, maybe sometimes people won't say nothing about it, right? You know, like it'll just be like, oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. And afterwards, you owing somebody something or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Or you didn't get paid what you thought you were supposed to get paid or whatever it is. So I think like any questions that you have, you need to be thorough and assertive with those, you know, and if it's like somebody that you have a relationship with already, it's different. Y'all, you know, y'all have that relationship. Right. Y'all can talk about that when you need to talk about it. But I would say in most business endeavors, be upfront. You're gonna, you know, still be respectful, but be assertive and ask questions and don't be afraid. Because if you don't, people won't always intentionally do it, but you'll get walked over
or sold a dream.
Sold a dream, forgotten about, other people doing the same thing as you, may be getting paid, and you not, just because you didn't ask and you didn't say nothing, and now you mad, but you just didn't know.
Yeah.
So I think the experience like helps, and just to know what questions to ask.
I think that's very confident to hear, especially from a man, especially from someone like so like a man as successful as you, who also is like, you know, a peace walker in this thing. Because like as a woman, of course, it's like, you know, it's hard to ask the questions, but also it's like hard to like ask like assertive questions, like, and be assertive of that. So it's very comforting to hear like, you know, someone like you or someone from your position to say like, yeah, like these are like all around facts that everybody needs to know, the trips that everybody needs to know.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way to get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, and I personally appreciate anyone who does it, but especially women who do it, you know, like, I think it's the way we should be. Of course, have a level of respect. We all should have a level of respect for each other, but we also have to know like what it takes to make things happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. How do you show your audience your journey of your sound? I've had a few conversations with a few of my guests on sound, particularly Kari. Shout out to Kari. Did Kari's episode. But we've had a lot of conversations about sound and like how that sound journey looks like. How do you show your audience your sound or your journey of your sound? What has your sound journey been like? Like, do you have like an idea? No.
I mean, I like so much different types of music. I know everybody say that, right? But I don't like to, you know, if I like it, if it sounds good to me, then I'll go with it. You know? So that could range from more melodic sounds that are like a piano, a Rhodes piano that like Ray Charles like used to play, right? Something that sounds more like that. But I know this last project that I've been working on recently has a lot of guitar. And I'm just getting into it. So it's been like my friends, you know, mostly playing it. But I just fell in love with the sound of the guitar and the ways it can take different shapes, you know, putting it through pedals. And now it sounds like strings like in an orchestra, or it sounds like piano, or, you know, it has a distorted sound. I like how distinct it can be, but also it can play the background. I just like versatility. Go many vibes. Yeah, I like the versatility of it. So my sound, I feel like it's evolved over time. I know I've always loved live instrumentation. Okay. Like I was in a band like when I first graduated high school.
You give me band vibes.
I was in a band. I was in a band. It was like one of the girls in the band, she was like classically trained, so she's coming with like that aspect, and then the drummer, he played like more rock. Okay. So he had like double bass, so he's like like playing more hardcore stuff. Right. And then we got like singers and rappers and all of that. So it was very eclectic sound band. Just like, so I've always I love live instrumentation.
That's good. So it's fair to say that your sound is on a constant evolution.
Oh, constant. Like, I know whatever my next project is after this is not gonna sound like the last one.
So we getting a new project from you.
Oh yeah. Okay. There's hopefully gonna be many more.
Of course it is. Come on now. Of course it is.
I'm always creating, so.
What you listening to currently?
Can I pull my phone out? Can I?
Sure.
I'll tell you what I listen to on the way here.
Sure, I would love to.
Cleo Soul, her album.
I've heard of her.
Called Mother.
Okay.
Smack it.
Okay.
She got this joint called Music, and on the second half of Music, she goes into this like little interlude part. Okay. That shit is ridiculous. Little Sims just dropped an album.
Not familiar.
She's a UK artist.
Okay. So you like international sounds too.
Oh yeah.
That's hot. I mean, that's
sound good. You know what I'm saying? She's spitting like some real shit. Like, oh no, this album is amazing. What else? Okay, this album, like, look at this cover right here.
Oh, that's hot. It's giving Britney Spears.
Okay. It's called Soft Hair. If you've heard that album, I'm into that. You know, that's more like electronic, like soft.
I love electronic alt music, indie.
Yeah,
that's like where my vibes be. But like, you know, I like it with like a little bit of like a funk, you know, a little sexy hip hop bass to it. You know, I'm very excited to make music. I feel like I've been making like music visual boards.
Okay.
So I
see the scrapbooks that you make. I don't know the
Thank you.
Oh yeah. That's super dope. The collage work.
Yes, I'm really inspired by collage work because like so what I've been doing in my job is like I've led an apprenticeship and I'm really focused on getting our students into like hyping up their hyphenates. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a big crutch to just like be like, oh, you are just this thing or you are just this thing, but like you have so many talents. Like you could be directing your own music videos. You could be creating your own theme songs. You could be doing all this shit for yourself. Like don't just like lean on one part of yourself, lean on all these other parts of yourself. But I think that's really talented of you. I'm really inspired by it. What you think?
No, you're I'm inspired by you. Like I said, I've seen you do that. You are like a multi-hyphenate artist as a whole. And I think coming up, I kind of like rejected that initially. Yeah. Because I felt like it took away from whatever I thought I was supposed to be good at, right? Like in a way where I was like, how can I be super good at this one thing if I'm doing all these other things? Right. But then I found out like, no, that those other things can inform whatever you think is your main thing.
Here to support it.
It's here to support it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing, you know, poetry, but now you want to do music, oh, that's the direct informative, you know, lane that you're starting to go into. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, of course, you know, the music aspect is a little bit different, but you already rhythmic. You already got cadence. You sound just like Kari. I'm not gonna lie. No,
Kari be telling me I be tweaking all the time. Well, like he'll be telling me tweaking, but like.
Well, me and Kari talk almost every day, so that's funny.
That's hot. So I want to talk to you a little bit more because I feel like you're an appropriate person to talk to this about. I want to talk to you a little bit about branding, right? Okay. And I feel like with professional artists or artists that we see in our community, it's typically like a globe that we put around them, right? Okay. And I feel like a lot of that is rooted in brand, whether it's like, you know, by choice or whether that's like how they like want themselves to be perceived. What would you say is the brand of Elton Aura or Elton the Aura?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like that's an ever-changing journey for me right now. Okay. That I'm continuing to figure out for myself. Right. But I think it starts with the colors. I feel like I wear my physically, my appearance, I wear certain colors most of the time. Like, okay. You know, I don't know. I feel like that adds to it. Like sometimes it's warm colors, yellows and oranges. I feel like I wear orange. How befitting. Right? You got the orange. And then like those warm colors like reds, oranges, yellows, and then other times it's more like cool colors. Like today, more like a cool vibe. Tones, the greens, like water tones, greens and blues, and just lighter, but things that are all represented in the earth. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be a grounded person. I think I'm grounded, but you know, my sun sign says that I'm not grounded, that I'm airy. But
your sun sign? Huh? Your sun sign?
Libra.
Your sun sign.
Sun sign.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Sorry, I'll be mumbling.
No, you good.
But for me, I feel like I'm noticing that my brand is represented in that in that way. Secondly, I feel like whenever I'm interacting with someone, it's usually in a positive light. So I want to always be encouraging to somebody. Whether it's on the internet when I'm not with them in person, or if I am with them in person, I'm just a natural encourager. So I love doing that because it comes from the heart, and I realize I need that. Sometimes depend, like with me playing guitar, like Brian is like encouraging me all the time.
That's beautiful.
Like, oh, you sound good. Keep going. And
you need that.
Oh, you need it. We all need it.
We need that shit. I need that shit. I mean,
like gas me up, like gas your homies up, like.
And it's not even like validation,
right?
It's affirmation. It's affirmation.
There's a difference for sure.
It is a difference. I definitely like being told, like even in everything I do, like in artistry, in personal life, and in dating, in music, and creation and work and all that. I always like to be told, like, like, hey, like it's okay.
Right.
Like you still human, you still here. Like I get it. And I feel like, that's necessary for everybody, no matter
what. And genuinely,
what.
You want it to be genuine. And
yeah.
You can tell. I feel like we all got that radar where we can, where we can tell if it's cap or if it's genuine.
Capaholic.
Straight up. I don't even know capaholics in my circle at all. But yeah, when it's genuine, it can be very encouraging. It's like the day you might have stopped, that one encouraging word from somebody can get you to keep going. So I think that's a part of my brand, which is something I feel like I could step into even more.
Yeah. I think what I'm getting from you kind of reminds me a little bit of so I love looking at music theory, but like how people break down songs from like influential artists, right?
Okay.
One of my favorites is Frank Ocean's, right?
Okay.
So I love looking at like Frank Ocean's music theory, like for example, like how Pyramid bomb for so many reasons, like how like the actual scale is in the shape of a pyramid,
right,
or like how like the song is like an extensive metaphor from like Cleopatra to like being like a pro. It's like so beautiful. I think that what I'm getting from you is like you're kind of on the same wave, like how like your vibe or your aura is like an extended metaphor through your music.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, I dig that. I love that for you. I mean, I want you to go into what are some like points that you try to hit in your artistry? For me, I would say like as a poet, like of course some of my work like hits on like, sexism, hood womanism, understand that that's not the plight of like, of course it ain't the plight of feminism.
Right.
And of course it ain't the plight of all womanism, right? But like also just intersectionality, fluidity, right? What are some of the points that Elton Aura tries to hit in his music?
I would say growth. Growth and imperfections. Knowing that you're perfectly imperfect,
Yeah.
I feel like, in one song, I may be talking about, my relationship, my spiritual journey, or my relationship with God, or who I believe God is. And then another one, I might be talking about my sexuality a little bit more in
your
depth. Freaky banter a little bit more. And growing up, I grew up in a religious family.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
Definitely heavy. So it was one-sided. We didn't talk about the other side. So I feel like here that balance again. But I feel like being balanced and being human is something that's like expressed into my art, a lot, but spirituality is only my art. And this latest music it's been like personal, friendship things that need to be discussed, or when I'm deep in my feelings about something, whether it's friends or relationships, like being able to express myself in that way, and knowing that I may be hurt sometimes, or I think somebody did me wrong, but in another song, or even maybe in the same song, I realized like maybe I need to look in the mirror and like it's be self-reflective.
I dig that. I was talking to LA Van Gogh here, and he was talking a lot about like how to keep that respect thing going for women in his music, right?
Absolutely.
So like, of course, like, we know that bitch is like a noun. Bitch is like, it's a noun, you know what I'm saying? Bitch can be adored, bitch can be anything like that. But aside from that, like, how do you see yourself reflected in your music, but also like how you like treat women or like people around you outside of your music?
Well, I grew up with some amazing women in my life. Like I got 2 sisters, you
Okay.
know, older sisters.
Okay. I like that for you.
My mother is a very strong person in my life. I grew up, like, my father has always taught me to respect, you know, women. I feel like going through, you know, in stages in like high school and things like that, I played sports, and there's a weird
misogyny,
you know, that comes with that I had to, even if I didn't truly want to be a part of it, it's like when you're in that world, you just do it just because everybody's doing it. And I feel like once I got out of that, I started to unlearn a lot of the things that I was taught back then, you know, just like being in school and just being around certain people and being around like strong women like at my age. Also just any woman, you know, I feel like my respect for them has just been natural. It's been like I see you all the same as I see anyone. You know,
that's hot. Yeah,
that's just how I see it. So when it comes to my music, I'm speaking in the same way. You know, I never think I'm speaking, you know, in a derogatory term or.
I never get that from you.
No, I don't even. My brain doesn't even.
It doesn't work like that.
It just doesn't work like that.
That's hot. Keep it like that. I mean, keep it like that.
Yeah, you know, I mean. We all have gotten hurt by people, you know, and all that. But I feel like people talk about Future, like I don't want to say.
What you gonna say about Future?
But I just, you know,
what you gonna say?
You know, he's hurt. He's gotten hurt, obviously.
Too sexy for me.
Not this Future, not that Future, but like, you know, past, you know, Dirty Sprite and all this. But there's times where he's gotten hurt, possibly, and. But it's in more hard shell type of way, and now he's like talking down on women or, you know, other artists. Maybe I shouldn't say Future, but a lot of artists, you know. And I feel like it's something that needs to be, you know, discussed and spoken out on more. And us just being a light whenever we can. Any artist that can up a woman or people of color. Anytime we get a chance to do it, we also have to remember that we are people of color and like.
Give that shit back to yourself.
Give it back to yourself. We all came from women. Women, you know, they have birthed us. Like this is Mother Earth. Like we should respect the earth in the same way. It should all be like reciprocated. And I feel like in the music, it should flow in that same way.
I feel that. I appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie. I find you to be, you know, understanding. Right, like when we were working together for your video, right? Like you were so complimenting, you were so graceful. I was so appreciative to be that for you, right? And I feel like, you know, you see me more than just like, oh, pretty face and like, you know, a hard worker and, you know, bomb edges, hello, right? But also like that you understand, like perhaps maybe that you understand that like I am human, right? Like I actually like. I have everything that I have for myself, or that I show everything that I show for myself because I allow my humanity to show. And that's why like you respect me so much. And I think that's beautiful. I
mean, like I told you, I'll say this publicly. You were the first person that came to my mind when I thought of doing the promo video.
Thank you.
Just because of your personality, you know, I feel like, yeah, you were acting, but you weren't acting. Like you were just being yourself. And I feel like you were a great representation of who I was thinking about when I made the song, you know?
Thank you.
So I thought it was really perfect. I thought other women will be able to look at that and relate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was trying to think of from the women in my life, the women that I know, if we were all out, you know what I'm saying? You went to the bathroom, you got that text. You're like, okay, hold on. Let me get these edits on real quick and make, you know, fix up real quick and then go back and make a move. But I just felt like you had the perfect personality for it, and you did it perfectly every single time. Like every time we shot it, like I pulled from all of those things when I was editing.
Thank you, Elton.
And you're a natural.
Thank you so much. And we're definitely gonna show that video. Not right now, but I wanna talk a little bit back. Can
we get some more Patron?
No, baby, you got whatever you want. This is your thought juice. This is I bought it for you, honey. It's always for you. I actually hate when like I have guests and they'd be like, oh, and I told them, I'd be like, I asked them, I was like, oh, what you want to drink? And they'd be like, oh yeah, I can come and get up. Like, no, Do not fucking get it. Do not
host.
fucking get it. It is mandatory that I provide it. It is absolutely mandatory.
I appreciate that.
So if we can like backtrack a little bit, right? I want to talk a little bit more about this branding because I'm very inspired. I feel like you have a keen eye to this and a keen perspective on this. How do you stay away from the mechanics of branding, right? Kind of going back to like that globe metaphor that I was talking about, like how people stay so consumed in what their brand in, or they stay so consumed in like the mechanics of like, you know, a professional artist or like, you know, an artist that's more put on than others, right? How do you stay away from that and also understand that like, yeah, like I'm still human, like I'm still attainable? Because even if I was like on quote unquote, I wouldn't want people only coming up to me like, oh yeah, like I heard your song or I heard this or I seen that and yada. Like
they're still gonna do.
Yeah.
But it's just
that's facts.
That's
facts.
I mean, because people are going to be in awe of you because Oh yeah, because like you deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You worked hard for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So if someone is aspiring or they can just appreciate the work that you put in, they're gonna say something. You know, but I do believe, you know, it may not be intentional, but there's a humility aspect of it to just know that you can always get better. I know I can always like get better, and there was someone who inspired me. But as far as the branding is concerned, I feel like I never wanted to start anything that I didn't feel like I could sustain. So I don't want to be like showing it like, yeah, I got all these fancy cars and do all this because like, nigga, I don't like, I don't, you know. So anything I do, I want it to be, you know, not as DIY as possible. Sometimes as DIY.
Oh, I like that.
It is all DIY. Don't get me wrong. But I want it to be something I can sustain. I can continue to do consistently. I don't want to try to stretch myself too far to where it's like, okay, now I have to put up this front that I can always do this if it's not who I am.
Facts. Okay, I get exactly what you're saying, right? So like when you're doing the best that you can be doing and when it's purely you, allow people to be in awe of that.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel that. I like that. No, I like that. I really do, because I'm not gonna lie, Elton, like sometimes I feel like a lot of like artists in our community and our scene, right? Like when they reach a certain amount of followers or like when they hit their headlining status or things like that, they become untangible. You know what I'm saying? They become unrelatable.
Yeah, I know that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like how, like I, you know, of course I aspire. I don't aspire to be that, right? But you want to dream big. You want to create big goals for yourself. You want to like, you know, continue to level up as you are deserving of, as your hard work is deserving of. But it's like always like that mind trick that happens where it's like, you know, don't get big headed. Don't get egotistical, you know. Get Kanye, but not new Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Don't create too many Kanyes, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, stay humble, but talk your shit, right? And I'm always curious about what that balance looks like.
I think another part of it is your circle.
Your pod, right?
Your pod, your nucleus, the people around you, people who can humble. You know, if you do start to, you know, go astray or, you know, being successful, there'll be yes men around you all the time, or people just always just being like, oh yeah, you the shit, you this and that. Can we cuss? Because I've been cussing.
No, you can cuss the fuck out. No,
you know what I'm saying?
So you in the real Havana, Chicago.
Right, that's what
you must not know what we're talking about on here.
I figured. But yeah, you know, there'll be yes men. And if you don't have people around you, if there's always people around you who are benefiting from you, then they're going to just always just cap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you might not realize it, but when you're around people who maybe have seen you from when you didn't have anything, I'll take a look at that. Seen you when you didn't have as much as you have now, and they can tell when you're kind of going off the rails. I think it's good to keep that around you. Like Jamie Foxx reference again.
Come on now. I've never heard someone reference Jamie Foxx.
Oh, that's my God.
I hear a lot of reference questions, a lot of inspiration questions, but no one has ever said Jamie Foxx.
I'll be the first.
I love that for you.
He was in an interview or something talking about his success. And he was like, yeah, I always keep something broken in the house. Something in the house is always broken.
Okay.
Like the remote or something, you know what I'm saying? An appliance.
I feel like I know where this is going.
Because it just keeps him humble.
I
like, yeah, I got this big house with all of these beautiful things, but that something that's broken, that faucet.
Now you got to go to Walmart.
You got to go to Walmart. You got to go fix that. You know? And
that's hard.
Yeah, I think keeping that every stage of life that we're on will like keep that humility in like a healthy place for us. But I don't think we should like embody the humility to the point where we forget our self-worth.
Yes.
You know, that's why I think, you know, it may not always be super conscious that you're doing it, but you just got to set your, you know, your different cues and your different trigger points to just know, okay, this is keeping me humble, or I'm keeping this person around me because they're the only one who's going to tell me the truth when everybody else not. Like those. But like, what is the, like, but how do you know that you at that level where you got to like have a pod, right? Like I was saying, okay, for example, right? This is just like a far reach example, right? You know when Soulja Boy was on stage and he was finna fight some nigga at the concert, and somebody pulled him aside no, bro, you're tweaking. What is that level where you have to have someone listening? Every level. Because if they're not at the lower level, if they're not at the lower level, they're not gonna be at the upper level. That person not gonna come out of nowhere. That's funny as hell. Keep that nigga with you. Someone will be like, "Hold on, bro. You also shit right now. It's not gonna be a good look after this." Right. Okay. Be a meme. I want to know, like, I mean, allow me to hype you up, right? But like, you fucking Elton Aura, like, yes, I'm in awe of you, right? As you say, right? I want to know, like, okay. And I'm gonna just try to put this in the most like layman of terms, right? Okay. So like for us as like community artists, I feel like there's levels of success for us as community artists, as scene artists, as local artists, et cetera, et cetera. And I know that might sound hella head ass, but it's the truth. It's the facts, right? I mean, it's the real about Chicago. We only speak facts, right? What do you think that there is like a blueprint of success, or like, yeah, that's what I want to say. Is there like a blueprint of success to get like, you know, where Elton Aura may be, where an Iman Loren might be? And I'm not saying that to say facetiously or like pretentiously, right? But facts is facts. And of course, like we can, of course, you and I, we can heavily say like, oh yeah, that's hard work. That's dedication. That's, you know, the process of being true to yourself. But I do feel like there is a true science to getting where you might be at, to getting where I might be at. That's how I honestly feel, right? Do you feel like that? I feel like there are elements. There are elements. Okay, so it's still a science. in a way, I don't think it's like clear cut. You have to do it this way, but absolutely, I think there are pieces. And I say blueprint quotationally. Yeah, like I think there are pieces of the puzzle that you should do along the way. Like just saying yes to things, not ever thinking you are too big to do anything, or you are too good to do anything. Right. To a small show initially where you're not getting paid to do it. You know, I remember we were doing shows, you know, where you were doing poetry, and then we've done performances where you've done poetry, maybe have hosted it. Sorry, Elton. Yeah. I remember over at the was it the Hoxton? Yes. Or stuff like that. And we done it. That shit makes me laugh because I be like, damn, bitch, you've been in this shit for some time. Oh, yeah. It take a minute. It takes a conversation for someone to be like, hold on. Right. We really still good and we still doing this shit. I remember when you was doing that, you know. Don't call me out. Don't call me out right now. No, but we were there. Yeah. You know, and I remember I got asked to do that show. It was like 15 minutes, you know. Right. You might not get paid at all. Yeah. You know, and it's like our ego could have been like, I ain't doing it. Like, who gonna be there and all of this, but now we here. Creating new moments. Yes. No, Elton just
kind of brought me back for a second. If I can give any hints to the blueprint, what it's really about is it's that hustle mode. Y'all, as my fellow Hoodwives, y'all already know what the fuck I always be talking about. It's that hustle mode. You gotta stay on it. Stay on it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to do shows at hotels for $75 fucking dollars. Yeah. My fee for one poem now is $350 and up.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like, you know, I'm writing poems for Cubs now. I'm writing poems for all of Chicago now. Like, and it's that hustle factor. And like it takes a conversation to remember, like, no, like we did this shit. Like we did this shit. And so like we are deserving of where we're at. Absolutely. We deserve to be in awe of ourselves. So pardon me for cutting you off, but like that blueprint is about, I think that blueprint is really that hustle mode. The hustle. What the hustle?
What the hustle was. Because the hustle ain't sweet. Like I see it as this analogy in my mind of like a tree or a plant or anything. And if you could like zoom out a little bit and like look at the roots and how deep the roots go. Yeah. You know, and like they go so deep, but like they're underneath the ground.
You talking that talk I like.
But some people don't see, they only see when you was on top of the ground. Like they only see that, but they don't realize how far deep
that shit is planted.
Go. It's so far.
How far that shit been going.
It's like 10 years down there. You just seeing this 1 year up here and you think I've been glowing, but no.
I ain't gonna cap, you kind of just blew my mind. I ain't gonna lie, like sometimes I be forgetting what the fuck. I mean,
you been at it.
No, I know, but it's like
I was got a promotion.
I did. I just got a promotion and I got another job. You know, I'm working with two organizations. I'm teaching because you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm very grateful. I'm so grateful. You know, I'm so blessed to share community, to share space with you again. It's very affirming. You know, it's very affirming, but it feels very full circle. Like I feel like we are deserving of this. Like, absolutely, you deserve me, totally. Right. What's your idea of quote unquote making it? Right. I know that might be a lot, but making it. When I think of like me making it, like I've been in conversations with Matt a lot about this. Shout out to MattMuseFM. Make sure that y'all listen to that episode. I've been in tune a lot about like when I was talking to Matt, me and Matt kind of have the same vision. We don't want none of this shit. Right. Like none of this city skyscraper condominium association. Right. I want to live in the country. I want me and my nigga on a haystack. I want to suck some dick in a bar. I want to birth my kids in my room. I want all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want none of this city and sexual shit, right? And that's making it to me, you know, even though I have no parents, but like I would, if I could build a quarters or something for like, you know, part of my family, I would do that, right? And that's making it to me. I would love to like just build a house, do some podcasting, make some pies, some podcasting, and be the local preschool kindergarten teacher. And I would show them Schoolhouse Rock and teach them cursive and manners and all that shit. And that's making it to me. What is making it to Elton Aura?
I'm like a big family person.
Okay.
So I've been thinking about this, like my siblings. I got a big family. I got 5 siblings. So it's okay. And we're just thinking because like
so you're the middle.
I'm the second to youngest. So I was the youngest for
baby.
I was the youngest for 11 years. Then we had a surprise with my little brother. I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. But I remember my mom told me she was pregnant. I started crying. I was upset because I wanted to be the baby. But you know, like the older siblings, like they have kids and they're like older. And then like the younger 4 of us haven't had kids. And
congratulations.
Right. But we've been talking about it. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do? Because now I live in LA. Right. My sister was just living in Texas. I got a brother who lives in Arizona. My youngest brother about to go to college. We're all kind of spread out. And you know, I want us to be able to live at least
close unit.
In close unit. Like I want my kids to be around
right.
Because it's just something about having that camaraderie and that support system that I feel like is important. You know, that I feel like is important. So I want to get to a point where money is just like not an issue at all. Like I don't want to just be rich. Like I don't really care about that at all. But I just want to have the resources that I need to where anything that we need to do, we can do.
Yes.
You know, so I recently just got put on
NFT.
No, not.
I was already going to say
no. It's some whole other shit. It's more in the lane of what you were talking about. It's called an earth ship.
Okay.
It's like a self-sufficient
home
built out of tires, where you grow your no electricity, all solar panels.
Solar panels.
Yeah, you grow your food in the house. The water is recycled.
Okay. Because I currently have land down south that I'm
okay. That's amazing.
Actually, it's not a secret no more.
I mean,
but but I have some shit down south in North Carolina, so I'm always looking forward to Afrofuturistic ways of living.
Oh yeah,
for myself, like I'm a bomb ass bitch.
Come
you know
on.
what I'm saying? And I just love looking after myself, but I think about family all the time.
I think community seems to be really important to you. You with this podcast. This podcast ain't new, y'all.
It ain't. It's gonna be 4 years on my birthday, Elton. Season 4 on my birthday. About time your ass came here.
It's the perfect time.
It's the perfect time.
But yeah, like when you've been a part of like the community and a catalyst in the community, so I feel like anything you do after this, you're either gonna start a new one, build a new one, and keep expanding the one you already got too. So.
Oh, I really appreciate that, honey. I really do. I want to take a moment to talk about because you've been doing this music shit for a long fucking time, and if no one has told you, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you, and I really hope that you receive that.
I do.
I'm very proud of you, and I'm so grateful to share space with you, to just share time with you, and to finally link here.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long time coming. How do you stay consistent? What are some of your ways of discipline?
That's a good question. I mean, I love producing music. I love being around people who consistently produce music, and not just music, but art. So I love to just be around creative people because it keeps me inspired.
Right.
So that adds to my dedication. I feel like also at this point, it's like that muscle memory. Like if you do something every day or all the time, your brain can't really turn it off.
Right.
I hear beats with the fucking clicker of the the turn signal. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and when your brain kind of just works like that, or you see certain colors put together, it kind of sends your mind places. Writing ideas down all the time to keep them fresh and to go back and remember them. That's what keeps me consistent. And then just talk. I got some friends who we always just talk about ideas or what's the next thing we can do, and just not being complacent. And I just feel blessed to opportunities I've been for taking me on tour.
Yes, I love No Name. We love you, No Name.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that kind of was an extra, boost. It was a couple years ago, but it was an extra boost to me to be okay, you're on the right path. What you're doing is not going unnoticed. So I feel like getting that encouragement also helps. But even when you're not getting that encouragement, you gotta keep grinding. You have to stay at it. So I have my little trigger points, like I said, writing my ideas down and keeping that fresh and making sure I execute something all the way through. I get a high off of that and finding other ways to get high.
I feel that. I want to take a moment to grace you. So you graced me with a feature to be the promo girl, your video girl, your video vixen, and for your new song, Meantime. And my wonderful producers, Chicago For Real, we're going to show that video right now.
Oh, so you got that up?
Of course, we got it up. Of course. We want to show it and produce it. I want to ask you, like, what inspired that song?
That was when I first moved to LA. So that was like a straight LA vibe.
Right.
Me and my homie Made were working on it. Made a Lane. Shout out Made a Lane. Look him up. Mm-hmm. He produced it. And yeah, so it was very collaborative. Mm-hmm. We had the LA sun in our face making it. It was one of the first things I made after moving there. You know, so that's pretty much like what inspired the whole vibe. I'm thinking like sitting in a convertible, you know, just like vibing to it. So
love that. Yeah. Well, without further ado, we're gonna show the promo video of Meantime by Elton Aura featuring Iman Loren. Yes, yes, yes.
That's so cool.
So please make sure that y'all stream Elton Aura's Meantime out now. I'm gonna be posting it very, very soon. But please make sure that y'all support Elton. How else can we support you? You know, everything like that. Let the Hoodwives know, honey. You got us. Now.
I got y'all.
You got us now. You know we ride. We pull up for you.
Right. I appreciate that. You know, I mean, really, you know, anytime, you know, I got a show, you know what I'm saying, come through if you can. If not, you know, whenever I got any merch or anything, those are ways. But I got Instagram, I got Twitter. You know, you can just stay up to date with everything I got going on.
What's your socials? Where can we find you? Oh, we got our socials. Elton Aura. That's our social.
Y'all doing it so right. Like y'all.
Come on, honey. You know I got you. You know I got you. And thank you so much, Martine. But yeah,
I'll be going on tour again in March 2022.
Okay.
So if I come to your city, pop out. Mm-hmm. If you're any place outside of Chicago, definitely pull up. Even if you're in Chicago, we don't have a show in Chicago, but pull up to Milwaukee, pull up to Urbana. If you really rocking that hard, if you rocking that hard, do that, please. Yeah. It's with a great artist called La 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 La.
Okay.
She's amazing.
And I've never been to LA, so hopefully I can see you when I'm in LA.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I want to ask you one question while I got your time. Okay. What's a hood wife to you?
Ooh. A hood wife to me is just someone who's about their business. Yeah. Take care of their business. Say what they gonna do and then do it without any objections, without any obstacles. They know exactly what they want and they tell you. I love it.
Oh my goodness. You I'm mother of Hoodwives, so y'all already know what the business is. Please make sure that you follow and support at Elton.Aura. Make sure that you follow me at Loren Like Polo and us at Hoodwives of Shy. We go live every Thursday, 7 p.m. in collaboration with my wonderful, beautiful team at Chicago For Real _ on Twitch _ yeah, better. Thank you to my team and to my fellow Hoodwives. Thank you to you, Elton. I really appreciate you. I hope you had a wonderful time here on The Real Hoodwives Chicago. You all have tuned in for another episode of The Real Hoodwives of Chicago, a real show with hot sauce stories. Ew. Go listen to Meantime. Go listen to Meantime. Go watch my promo video. do all that. You want to have some more tequila?
Of course.
Okay, you want to take a shot?
Oh.
Yes. Thank you.